I'll be honest, guys. I think there's a really good chance that if you're an English learner, your emotions are not fully coming out when you speak, and that is potentially causing you to sound a little bit flatter and a little bit more robotic than the native speakers around you. And I want to help you, one, see if this is the case for you, and two, find a solution. So if it is a problem, it is something that we can address by using tools related to pitch and intonation. This is a stream that's going to pair very well with yesterday's stream. So definitely, if you're checking this out, I would definitely encourage you to check out the previous episode right before this because it's going to tie in a lot of those movements with relation to pitch that are going to be very essential in order to achieve a natural sound. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show. Wake up, American. We're here Monday through Friday, typically around 8 a.m. New York, to make sure that you can get in your 5 to 10 minutes of pronunciation practice in for today, because that is what it takes. It takes showing up for yourself, for consistently for a couple minutes in your day, practicing the things that you need to sound more natural in American English. To guide you in this process, there is me. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the four keys to a natural sound, including placement, pitch, breath, and then trying to weaken your consonant sounds to strengthen your vowels. So today we're going to be playing around with some information question words. It's like who, where, how, why, and we're going to just try to express these different question words with different emotions. And we're going to go in this order. We're going to go happy, we're going to go curious, we're going to go angry, and we're going to go sad. It's very sad. Very sad. Okay, so hopefully you can try to copy these and apply them to your own speech. We're going to need to practice moving around with pitches a little bit. Let's just warm up with pitches just to get everything loose and open. Let's just do a quick scale. Let's use the word this. Okay, so can you say for me like this, 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 this? Okay, again. This. Can you take that up? This. This. Can you go from your midpoint high? By the way, I see Emmanuel here is here and also Gunshim is here. Hello to you both. Let's go from a midpoint high. So like this. And then can you go from high to mid? This. This. Okay, let's now try dragging. Okay, so we're going to go from a midpoint down. It's like this. Can you go from your midpoint up? This. Can you go from your midpoint high? This. Can you go high to your midpoint? This. Make sure he's doing it. It's really trying to sound smooth. Like if you're like this, there's nothing in between. We want slow, gradual movements like this and things like that. The reason we need this is because in American English, our consonant sounds are so weak. Okay, our vowel sounds are so strong. Everything is really linked with breath. So what can happen is it can be hard to tell where does a word start and where does a word stop. Pitch is the tool that we use, in my opinion, in American English to create separation between words. This is why pitch is fundamental for achieving a natural sound. If you're not using enough of a pitch range, you are not going to be able to achieve a natural sound. And it's also going to be crucial for conveying information related to emotion to your listener because you're not going to be you're going to have the right words, you're going to have all the right grammar and things like that, but the semantic meaning of the things that you say changes depending on how you are using pitch and movement from pitch and things like that. So you can be doing all the things technically correct, but if you are not paying attention to this aspect of the language, you are not fully conveying the right information to your listener because your listener is going to be listening for these cues to determine how they want to interact with you and respond. So this is not information just for fun. This is information that is fundamental for achieving a really natural sound. Hello also to Levi. Okay, so let's start off with happy. Okay, so we're going to say all these question words at the end and try to say them in a way that sounds happy. Notice I'm not saying neutral. I'm saying happy, like excited, positive. So, for instance, our first one. Who? Who? Where? Where? How? How? Why? Why? Okay. So that would categorize all of those as being happy. One of the things that we're seeing with happy, a lot of times it's higher pitches. To make things sound friendlier or warmer in English, that's what we tend to do. We tend to take things higher. Okay. So again, like who? Where? How? Why? Let's compare that to curious. Now we're not entirely sure about the person we're talking to or why they're talking to us and things like that. So curious. Who? Where? How? Why? So notice that one of the things that's happening, we're tending to kind of lengthen the vowel. We're also getting a lot more movement, right? A lot of that movement we talked about yesterday, where we're like maybe going down, going up, like who, how, like things like that. We're expressing that is expressing uncertainty. What's up, Tamila? Okay. What's our next one? Our next one is angry. Just take a moment to ask yourself, how would you say these words? Who, where, how, why? How would you say them if you needed to show that you were angry? Feel free to pause the stream and just kind of practice saying all these words. How would you say them to sound angry? You need to convey anger to your listener. How would you do that? Okay. Who? Where? How? Why? So notice that again, these are still rising intonation at the end because these are, I mean, like I think you're still getting a little bit of energy to it. However, one of the things I think you see with the anger is that when people are angry, what they tend to do is the pitch tends to drop, and we also tend to start with maybe a heavier falling intonation, like who. It's not who. It's a lot more gradual. That was quite the spike. Okay, so one of the things we're seeing with anger is that again, maybe starting off with a slightly firm falling intonation. That's something we see in general with things to sound more serious or sound angry. We tend to get lower pitches that are very firm, especially at the beginning. Like who? It's not like who. No, it's a lot firmer and sharper on the fall. Who? Where? How? Why? Again, everything a little bit lower. And let's take a look at the last emotion here. Let's try to say all these words in a sad way. Okay. And I will say really quick before we get to that, if you're practicing this and you're not sure if you're doing it right, because one of the only disadvantages of the stream is I can't hear you. I don't know if you're doing it right or not. You can go to fluentamerican.com/telegram. This is something we're going to be practicing later today in our group. So in our pronunciation group on Telegram, I send words every day, and our members can send in audio files to get feedback from us to see how they are sounding. You can even send in words or phrases that you're working on in your personal life, maybe a presentation or a talk or things like that. We're happy to help with that. So all you need to do is go to fluentamerican.com/telegram so you can see if you are doing this correctly. Got you mentioning it is 5:12 in the evening there. They are far, far away from the U.S. New York time. Okay. So let's go to sad. Hopefully you've kind of practiced or you've guessed how would you say these words if you wanted to sound sad. Who? Where? How? Why? So it's almost like resigned, a little bit of resignation when you say that. Okay. We're seeing again lower pitches, maybe going a little slower, less energy. Okay. Who? Where? How? Why? Okay, so again, sounding much sadder than like the first one, right? Like who? Where? Who? Where? And things like that. So just Practice using your bodies, guys. Practice using your full range of pitches. Practice volume. Practice speed. Practice how sharp your fall is or your rise is or how gradual it is. Things like that. All of these things have an impact on how you sound. These are fundamental. Your voice can do many, many powerful things if you give it the chance to. Do many powerful things if you give it the chance to. Again, if you want to practice this, our Telegram group is probably one of the best ways to do that. Okay, you can go fluentamerican.com/telegram or send me a message if you have questions about it. Otherwise, practice these words, practice other um, sentences, situations. Emmanuel's saying that they're at work, so the angry one is the easiest one to practice. Try to stay positive. Try to practice the happy ones too if you can. I will see you all later. Look, thank you guys for being with me. There's a million pronunciation resources out there, so the fact that you turn to us for guidance is greatly appreciated. I also encourage you, if you need like an MP3 podcast version of this episode, you can go to fluentamerican.com/podcast. You can download an actual MP3 file for practice. I will see you all later. Once more, my name is Jeff. Rhymes with breath. It's one of the 4 keys national and American English pronunciation, including placement, pitch, breath, and trying to weaken your consonant sounds. I will see you all later. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. La Vida Red is out. We'll see you later, sir. We'll see you all of you guys later.